Real quick, just want to hop on and let everybody know that I'm opening up for Joel Corry on Thanksgiving Eve. I know it's insane. I'm super excited. If you guys want to get tickets, only $25. You can hit the link in my description and the link in my bio on my Instagram as well. Hopefully, I see you guys there. Enjoy the episode.
You never know what someone's going to do in their day-to-day.
Made me reevaluate myself. He was sick. That's all.
Block this out. You lose yourself, but then you become the person you didn't want to become.
But seriously though, it is completely in your hands. I got a little intro for you.
Yeah.
I read an intro for all my guests.
Oh.
All right, ready? Our next guest is the king of Unspoken Rizz. He's most likely tried to pull your mom at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru on the Boardwalk of Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, Noah Danenhower. What's up, boss?
Bro? Thank you for having me.
Give it up. Get up for Dave. Get up for Noah, baby. we got a little live studio audience today. Thanks for coming through, bro. I appreciate it. I've been seeing you on TikTok and Instagram. Wanted to have you on. What would you consider your content?
Bro, it's been all over the place. Like right now, we fucking with the MILFs. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah. 100%.
All right, okay.
100%.
We messing with the MILFs right now, dude. I like to provide what the people want to see at the end of the day, but I also don't like to sacrifice. Like, I don't want to ever just be doing stuff that I really don't want to be doing at the end of the day. But I do want to provide entertainment, so it's like I got to keep that balance of like providing entertainment, but also doing like stuff that I enjoy doing.
100%. Yeah, I noticed your content started off like at Dunkin' Donuts, right? Because do you still work at Dunkin' or no?
I wish, dude. I would love to still work at Dunkin'. I would still work at Dunkin' and still be doing the same content now, but I'm like banned from all Dunkins. I can't get a job back there.
Really?
I'm thinking about trying just because I got fired twice from Dunkin'. There was two different occasions.
What did you do to get fired from Dunkin', bro?
It's just, dude, I just give them free money and dollar make you hollers, and I just give back to the local MILFs of the community through the drive-thru. But I guess the part where that got me fired was they just didn't like that I was posting them on TikTok.
Oh, okay, because it was like associated with Dunkin' and their whole brand.
There would be like a lot of customers that would like come in and complain after the fact they seen like themselves viral on the internet.
Oh, no way. Really?
All the time.
I know you had the one bald guy the drive-thru. He was all pissed, but that was one of your most viral ones, wasn't it? You know what I'm talking about?
Which bald guy?
Yeah,
I feel like there's a few bald guys.
You had this I remember I was going through your TikTok and you had this one. It's I think it's pretty sure it's pinned to your TikTok. But let's see. Hold on a second. This one.
Dude, that dude. No, I know that dude though now.
That's great.
Apparently, it comes to find out that dude is my nephew's hockey coach. I didn't even know.
Oh, really?
I didn't know until way after the fact. Yeah.
So where did it all kind of begin for you? Because you're at 1.9 mil right now on TikTok.
Yeah, 1.9.
That's awesome, man. Congrats, by the way, on your
Thank
success.
You,
I see you got a lot of your boys with you, supporting you and helping you out throughout the way. So where did your content start?
Like the beginning. It was just kind of like when I'm talking like 0 followers, it was just like, all right, let me post this trend, do this, do that, like anything to try to get some views. I didn't know what I was doing,
right?
But then it slowly evolved. I started doing like more prank style content. Drive-through videos was a big thing I like to do. I got up to about like 70,000 from doing like just stupid little drive-through pranks, like stuff like that. And then I had like this idea. Charlie D'Amelfio, she came out with like she came out with like some Dunkin' drink on the menu, and I'm like, hey, what if I go through the drive-thru today and just like pour it on myself? Like, I've never seen nobody do that shit. Like, what's gonna happen? So I go to the drive-thru, I roll up to Dunkin'. I'm like, hey, can I get the Charlie D'Amelfio like Renegade? Yeah. And I go up, I dump it on myself, and I post it, and it went viral. It went like 1 million views. So I'm like,
that's crazy.
What if I do this again tomorrow?
Was it your first viral video?
No.
Okay.
So like my first viral video was actually a prank call to McDonald's, like pretending to be the manager and like firing somebody.
Oh shit.
And that was like my first like video to hit 1 million.
Okay.
So but I didn't have a lot of followers at the time. Like I said, I think I got to like 70,000, and then like the Charlie thing is what really like started everything.
I noticed that, yeah.
That started everything when I started dumping them freaking Charlie D'Amelfios on my head, dude.
Yeah, were you guys there for the 100th one, day 100? Remember you poured like a whole bucket on you?
I dumped 100 of them. Yeah, we got 100 coffees, and I dumped 100 on myself, like a whole bucket. And I got the Dunkin' workers from like the Dunkin' I'd go to every day to come and dump them on me too. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, they were the Dunkin' workers.
They're all in on it?
Yeah.
And then you did a Lamborghini too, right? You did it in the Lambo?
Yeah, when we were in Miami, we like had like we rented like a Lamborghini for a little bit, so I did like a bunch of content with that. Dumped it inside the Lamborghini.
I was gonna say, how much was that? Like the cleanup costs and shit. It was probably
Dude, you know, we trust me. I'm not like an idiot. Like I wasn't gonna get a drop on that damn.
Oh, you had a towel.
We had a towel down. We made sure.
I was gonna say, I was like, dude, I was like, this kid's got balls, man. I respect it, man.
No, like I'm not an idiot. At the end of the day, that would have been bad. Like,
yeah. So you started off obviously with the pranks. So do you have anyone you look that inspired you to get involved with like that kind of content, like posting on YouTube and?
The Nelk Boys, definitely.
The Nelk Boys.
They're like by far like.
Okay, you still watch? You guys all watch them now?
I
the
do,
Nelk Boys and shit.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I like watching them too. I like their videos. And they came out with, like the new drinks. You tried the Happy Dads yet?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I like them.
So you're from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
So explain to me like how, like obviously I understand like you're not in LA, and we'll get into you joined a Tik Tok House for a little while, didn't you? Mm-hmm. So what was that experience like?
Dude, that was probably like the best experience of my life. It was fun.
Really? So,
it was fun, but it didn't work out because like we didn't get shit done. Like we just partied, honestly.
Oh really? I feel like that's how a lot of like content houses are though. You know what I mean?
And I was in the mindset like I did want to work, but it's just like I feel like at the same time everybody has to be on the same page, and when you're surrounded by a bunch of people that aren't all on the same page and they're kind of like not worried about like grinding, then it's gonna fall through. Like it's not gonna work, and that's what happened. Like we lost our sponsorship for the house, so then we moved out at that point.
Oh wow! Can you say who sponsored you?
It was called Yay, the Yay app. They were like, they had a few different content houses. They decided to sponsor us, and we just had to promote their app, and like we really weren't really promoting them. We were just having fun. We were just living life.
I probably would have done the same shit. How old were you when you were in that house?
I was 19, probably. It was like a year ago.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild.
I'd say a year, but it was fun.
How did that house come together? Like, who reached out to you about that?
So, I was signed with a manager like before, like kind of early. Before I had 1 million on TikTok, I was signed with the manager, and there was probably like 6 other kids that were signed with the same management.
Okay.
And most of those kids lived out in LA, but I was still back in Jersey. But then, like the manager, we all decided to like get together for a trip to LA, like all like link up, get together, because we never really met face to face, like most of us. So the kids, like 4 or 5 of them already had an Airbnb rented out in LA. So they invited me to come out there and just like stay with them for like a week. It's like, all right, like a trip to LA. I actually went straight from Miami to LA because that's a whole nother story, whatever. but
it made more sense.
Yeah, but I went out there with them. Supposed to stay for a week. I clicked with the boys instantly, and then my flight the next day, one of the boys shuts off my alarm, and I don't go to the flight. He just convinced me to stay and move in with them.
Oh,
so I just never went home. Like I planned on going
shit.
home after a week, and I just like never went home. I just stayed with them, and then ended up living in LA for 5 months or 5 or 6 months.
You plan on going back at all, or no? You like it in the East Coast?
Definitely go back. I don't know if I would like move back there. I definitely want to move back there permanently. Like I just actually moved back to Jersey. I did live in LA, and I moved back March, April. Okay. I came back, but I can't be there permanently because I like being around my family and my friends and shit. It's just But my problem is when it comes to the freezing cold winters here, I don't like to.
It sucks. The winter sucks. Yeah,
bad, dude.
Yeah, I lived in LA in 2018 for a summer. I had an internship there. I went to Temple, so I had an internship there, and I loved it. It was great. And then I was supposed to go back, and then COVID hit. Then my whole life changed during COVID. Like me and her got really close. We like worked with the nonprofit. We started like doing a lot more. I started the podcast actually. I started this like in 2020, and it kind of changed everything. But so it seems like I've seen your moms in some of your TikToks, right? Is she very supportive of like what your career move? Or?
Yeah, she's the best, dude. I fucking love my mom.
That's awesome.
She's like, even before like I had any amount of followers, she always like, I would tell her like, cause I always knew like like school or none of that was like never for me. I always knew I wanted to like do like social media or something like that. Like
100%.
I was told her like, Mom, like one day like I'm gonna get followers, I'm gonna be famous, and like she like she always like supported it. My dad and whatever, like they'd be like, but she like always like kind of like just like.
That's awesome. I feel like
I'm not there. Like I don't consider myself there yet.
But you're like getting there.
But like we're on the road there.
100%.
So like. It's starting to like play out.
So starting off without any followers and posting the kind of content you're posting now, like, because I understand now it's a lot easier when you have numbers, because you don't people, if there's someone has something to say about it, that you can just look at your numbers and be like, all right, listen, like what your one comment doesn't hold any weight. But when you started off and without the followers, like did those comments hold more weight, and did they affect you?
That's a good question. I'd say. Yeah, they probably did, because I feel like when you first start, it's mostly comments from from people you know personally. I feel like that's how it usually is. You have to you have to get past the point of like people you know, like in your close circle, and like people you went to school with. You have to get past the point of just like knowing they're gonna see your shit, and like they're gonna shit talk you behind your back. They're gonna say shit. Like people are gonna be like, oh, like this kid, like
100%. Yeah. What gave you the confidence to press post? Like what gave you the confidence to put them out there, knowing that you were gonna get that kind of feedback?
You just gotta not give a fuck. Like you just gotta. I don't know. That's just how I am. I don't give a shit what anybody else has to say. Like I'm just gonna do what I want to do. It's like I look at it like I have one life. Like why am I gonna spend my life doing something that I don't really want to do? I'm gonna just go after it because like I don't want to be normal. Like being normal is kind of shitty. I feel like why do you?
I agree 100%. Normal is not it is shitty. 100%, and that's a really good mindset. And I could tell in your content too. Like we'll get into your Rizz in a second, but like talking to like these people and like in public and you know posting. I saw on at Temple you got like girl like you would post like
I would just watch that one on my way here. I'm like, let me scroll through and see some of this kid's videos.
Yeah, no, and what's called and like seeing people like say no or you know walk away or think you're like insane. Like I can understand like how that can affect somebody, but I can tell that it doesn't really affect you that much just because like I feel like you believe in yourself, like and even having it like your merch on your like your shirts and having people sign your shirts for like that type of content.
Yeah. And it's also like when I'm out filming, it's like when I go out to film, I'm in like I put myself in a mental mode where like it's like it's content mode. It's like I'm entertaining. Like I know like all right, I got to get shit done. It's not like I'm just out there like messing around kind of like I'm there with an objective and a goal to get shit done. So like dude, I don't give a shit if somebody's gonna reject me. Like
100%. Yeah.
It could be giving me more content. If you reject me in a funny way, and like shit, you might get posted. Like
exactly, and that doesn't start from nothing. So like building yourself up to that point. Like where did you learn that?
Learning
to because I understand when you pull a camera out and you're filming like you can be it can get like you feel weird, you feel awkward because you feel like an asshole because like oh I'm like that guy, but like how do you build yourself to thinking no like I'm in content mode? Like how did you build yourself up? Were there like obviously I know you followed the Nuck Boys, but there's like other inspirations that kind of led you to learning that?
Yeah, definitely watching them like dude like I said I always say it a lot like they're the only people I really look up to. Like I'm definitely inspired by them, but at the end of the day, it's like you just gotta realize like if you don't do it, like you're never gonna get nothing out of it. If you don't, you just gotta tell yourself like stop being a bitch, like just do it. Not give it. Like,
I like that.
That's really I think what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So when I started doing the podcast,
and then it gets easier.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you would get stuff like that, like when you're starting anything, and then you know people say stuff, and then eventually when it starts getting like doing well and doing numbers, like they can't really say much about it, you know.
Yeah, then at that point you don't care what they say.
Exactly. I'm like 2 years in now. So we'll speak about relationships. Like, what kind of relationships have you built in the community, like the influencer community?
My actual my roommate I just lived with in LA for a while. He's a pretty big influencer. Shane Nagy. He's got like a little over 5 million on TikTok. I actually look up to him a lot. Like he's older than me. He's like 25, 26.
Yeah.
But I moved in with him and I learned a lot from living with him. Like he's a very mature guy. He's on his shit though. Like he works harder than anybody I've ever seen in my life. And
100%.
living with him was like the greatest thing I ever could have done because it like transformed me into a whole different person. Just like watching what it really takes to be successful.
Right.
So watching his grind and his work ethic like that helped me a lot.
And it helps you like cherish, I guess, that relationship, right? While you have it.
Oh yeah, like
you know.
Honestly, before like I moved in with him and my other roommate Robbie, he does content too. He's not as big into it, but he does it. And but they're both the same age. They're older than me. Before I moved with them, I didn't really like I didn't build deep connections with people as much as I do now. Cause like I don't know, when I was like with my friends before, like we wouldn't really get too deep or anything like that. It was just kind of like
it was very just like
surface level.
Yeah, like very surface level.
Yeah.
But when I moved in with them, like I got more open with things. Like we got deeper. They taught me a lot of things. So I cherish that relationship with them too a lot because they taught me a lot.
That's awesome. And so I know Maddie had a question for you that she wanted to ask you about about your friend who passed away.
Yeah, Anthony.
I was going on your Instagram like looking. So just like I guess as he mentioned to you, like with our involvement with nonprofits and kind of I don't know if you've watched any of his podcasts before, right? Like mental health and thinking of those kind of things. So most of your platform from like what I've seen is usually pretty upbeat, positive. You like making people laugh. So how was it like processing the loss of your friend and like dealing with the grief, especially while like being a content creator?
It was tough. It definitely was tough. I mean, something like that's never gonna be easy.
Yeah.
But because I mean, we lived together for a while. Like we were roommates, best friends, and yeah, it was tough. It's. I mean, there's no other. I don't know like how to really say how I processed it because I feel like it's just time. I feel like it's just time. Like over time, it gets easier. It doesn't like. It's still always gonna be there. Like I'm gonna cherish the
100%.
memories forever, but it's just. It's tough. I don't know. I don't know how else to. I don't know.
Who would you say? So who would you say like after everything what happened to your friend? Like, who would you say you look like? Who's the most important person in your life that like helps you be the person that you are?
My mom, definitely, because she like always finds a bright side to literally everything. Like she's the most like upbeat, positive person ever. Like she's the first person I'm going to. Like whether. If I'm feeling down about anything, like she'll make me feel better. She'll make me smile.
That's awesome.
Like she always sees the bright side to everything.
That's awesome. Do you have any siblings? Or you're only a child?
Yeah, no, I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay, how old are they?
They're way older than me. I was the accident. by far, like literally not even close. I'm 20 and my youngest sibling is 32.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they.
But I got a bunch of little nieces and nephews. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Though. So you enjoy your family life.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't be away from home too much longer. Like,
do you think your content would ever deter someone from like speaking about relationships? Like, will your content deter anyone from like wanting to be in your relationship with you?
I thought about that. I have been thinking about that recently, but like at the end of the day, like no, because once they really get to once the girl really gets to know me,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm entertaining. They'll realize that I'm not. That's not really like exactly who I am. I'm not like this. Like I'm a nice, genuine, loyal guy when I want a girl I want to be with. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But at the end of the day, if I'm out having fun, I'm entertaining. Like it's a different story.
That's a good way to look at it, actually. So where would you say that? Where would you say that kind of content like came from? How did it start?
How did it start?
Yeah.
I just realized I was pretty good at it. Like I was like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at like getting girls. Like maybe I should make some content with it. And it's fun. I mean, why not? Why not put it on camera? Yeah. Film it, post it. Like
I saw some videos of you like in Wildwood on the boardwalk and stuff like that. That's where I first found you. I think you were right outside of Exit 6 when that was the first TikTok I found.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how often you guys go to Wildwood, but that was the first TikTok I saw.
Yeah.
So is that where you like vacationed? Because I know Blackwood kind of like.
My filmer lives there. He lives in
Wildwood.
He has a house in Wildwood, so we go there.
You were in Atlantic City before too, right?
Yeah.
Like for videos, yeah.
Hell yeah, that's all. So what are your plans for like the next like 5? Like I'll say 2 years. Like, do you have any things you're working on that you're okay to share that you just wanna grow on and build upon?
I want to really focus on building. Instead of like, I'm not so much worried about like the 1.9 going to a 2.5. Like, I'm not so much worried about the numbers.
Yeah.
I want to really focus on building like a strong connection with my fans because I feel like that is. I'd rather have 10,000 like loyal people that support every single thing I do,
right,
than a million people that just like kind of scroll and like see me here and there. Like that don't mean shit. That's not gonna make you no money. That's not gonna that's not gonna bring you anywhere in the long run.
That's true.
You need people that are gonna support you through it all, no matter what you do. Like if like say like obviously my content's gonna evolve. I'm not gonna be like out here like kissing all these random girls forever. 100%. Yeah. So like
well, don't start off as just pranks and then it built on to obviously something way bigger.
Yeah. So I want to build a fan base to where obviously I'm not going to be doing this forever. I want people that are going to support me even when I move on to the next chapter. You know?
100%.
So that's kind of my goal.
That's awesome. Have you had any like instances where your fans have like come up to you or have said something that like has meant a lot to you?
Yeah. I mean, definitely I've had fans come up and tell me like how like my videos have just gave them a lot more confidence, like going out and talking to girls and
that's awesome.
Stuff like that. And that means a lot to me. I like that, like, because I've always for a while wanted to help like people my age and even any age, just like be able to do that stuff because I know it takes a lot for people to do that.
Has there ever been a point in your life where you had no confidence?
Where I've always been a pretty confident guy in myself. Even like I've definitely like. I wasn't always like the best looking dude. Like I've had glow ups definitely, but even when I wasn't,
we all have.
Even when I wasn't the best looking dude, I was pretty always confident in myself. I don't know. I feel like you should always love yourself.
100%.
Like you're stuck with yourself. You better either You got to get the best version out of yourself you can get, and you got to love it. That's all.
100%. Is there like anything you would tell someone who maybe doesn't have confidence in themselves, or just feels like they're like isn't a way for them?
Go to the gym. Go get the gains, because I swear, once you start getting the gains, that's gonna skyrocket your confidence.
When you start going to the gym?
Like I started going when I was like 15, but like we're being like consistent, like lifting, like like probably like 2.5 years, like consistently.
Would you say that's what you're like? Is that when you're like one of the things you're passionate about, like going to the gym and fitness, or no?
Top two.
What else is that?
I love it.
What else are you passionate about?
Content. I love making videos.
That's awesome.
I love making videos. Yeah, the gym and content, filming. That's like my life. That's all I love doing.
That's awesome. So you're 20 now. So right now, are you living with your family, or do you have a house? Or
I'm with my family right now. Like I said, I was in LA for
for a little while.
I think 3 months this time. Like what happened at first? I went for 5 months. It was in the last summer. I moved back until March of this year, or last year, March. I went from March until May. So I keep going back and forth, basically.
Right.
I keep going back and forth, and now I'm back again.
Are you going back for the relationships, like to maintain those relationships and like make content out there? Or?
That's definitely a big part of it. Definitely, but also it's like the cold. I said like I'm always like, oh yeah,
the cold does suck.
Like after a while, I go to LA and I'm like, all right, I miss home. Like I want to go back to my family and shit. But then I come back and it's like it gets cold as shit, and I'm like, damn.
So even though it's cold, I mean, one of the best parts about Philly is our sports. And we got the Phils in the World Series tonight, right? Game 3. Have you been? I saw you were at you were at Xfinity. If we win, knock on wood, you guys got to go to Copman and Frankfurt. You guys ever go to Copman? Like, you ever heard of Copman and Frankfurt?
Really? It's like literally my corner, but like it's where everyone goes, like from Northeast Philly for when we win. So like when we won the World Series in 2008, everyone was there. Like people now, you probably have seen memes on like social media, right? And it's like, oh, they're sending all this stuff to grease the poles because people climb the poles. Yeah, like my cousin did it actually, like climbed the pole, got in trouble. Like it's crazy, but it's so much fun. When did we win the Super Bowl? 2018.
17, 18.
2017, 18. Every single game, because like football, it's a little different, right? Like it's one game, not 7. So when you would win, we would go there, and then that was 3 weeks in a row, and then the parade. Like you just have to experience it. I mean, obviously downtown kind of does it too, but Cotman and Frankfurt is just okay.
Yeah. I didn't tell
Cotman and Frankfurt's better.
I didn't say anything yet, but I'm actually gonna. If we win, I'm gonna DJ Cotman and Frankfurt. I'm gonna bring all my DJ stuff down there and just.
My brother was telling him, he's like, Kev, just go on the roof with the cops, like just DJ up there.
I'm thinking about it.
He's like, I shouldn't I? I'm like,
as long as I don't get arrested and I have to make a GoFundMe for like legal fees or anything like that, I'll do it 100%.
Don't worry, I got you. I'll make the GoFundMe.
Yeah. So outside of like your content that you do, is there anything else that you like to do like, besides the gym? Like when you're not making content, what are you doing outside of that?
I do like to read.
Oh yeah?
I like to read, yeah.
What have you been reading?
Right now I'm reading Psycho-Cybernetics. That's a good one. I'm like halfway through that, but I'm doing an audiobook for that one. So what I'll do sometimes, like I'll do an audiobook and then I'll also have like a physical copy. So like sometimes like on a car ride, I'll do the audiobook.
Oh, it's not bad, yeah.
If I'm at home, I'll read the physical copy. That's what I'm liking this one so far. The Millionaire Fastlane. I'm reading that physical copy right now.
Nice. Is there anything you could like share with us that you've like learned from those books? Because I'm trying to read more. Dude. I'm reading like the 48 Laws of Power, and it's taking me like I'm taking notes on it and shit. It's taking me a minute, but
bro, I tried. I read like halfway through that, maybe a quarter. I had to put it down. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was so boring to me.
Yeah, like it's old. It's old.
The stories killed me, dude. Like the stories in there were so ass. I'm like, I don't want to hear about these fucking
like the circus and shit. Yeah,
I had to put that one down.
Yeah, it's an older book for sure. But when you get down to the lessons of it, they're really good.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Definitely good lessons. Yeah, definitely.
What are those books have taught you?
So I've learned so much. Like they changed my life, and like that ties back to my roommates. Like how they really changed my life because the one Robbie, he's the one that got me into reading, and ever since I did, like it just helps you. Like I've learned to take control over my emotions and all over my whole mentality, and I learned like life's a mental game. And if you don't have control over your mind, then you're screwed. If your mind controls you, you're doomed. Like you're fucked. You're gonna be depressed. Like that's the. If you're depressed, it's because you don't have control over your thoughts. That's what I believe.
I agree. And then something I've actually been like trying to teach myself is like to start making my own decisions, because I've learned that life can. And Maddie's been like, she's literally my right hand. She's fucking helps me with everything. But I've been learning like that if you don't make decisions, like life will make it for you. You know, like if you don't like, it could be for anything. You know, you have to be the one that like believes in yourself and has to believe in where you're going, and what you're doing, because no one else is gonna do it for you. And then once you start doing that, I think you've already learned that. Like once you start taking control of that, that's when you put that energy out there and people start seeing that and like wanting to be around you more. And
yeah, definitely. Like I feel like a wrong decision is better than making no decision. At least you'll learn something from it.
I mean, that's in all your that's basically a lesson in all of your videos, you know.
But off what you were just saying, so then like kind of back to like relationships and friendships, but also with what he was just touching on. Obviously, like you have a lot of followers. There's a lot of ingenuine people who are going to try using you for the clout. So like, how do you think you've dealt with like navigating through, like, do you think that like you can kind of spot the fake people in your life?
Yeah, it's
and
so easy. It's
that's not. But do you think that like came over time, or like you've always just been able to spot when someone's ingenuine?
I feel like I just think it's obvious. I don't know. Okay. I feel like I just have a good sense of like telling when people like genuinely really care about you for you, or if they're trying to get something out of you. I feel like it's easy to point out.
Yeah, it's easy.
I've never really struggled with that. I don't know. Yeah,
it's easy to spot. So kind of hitting back on like what's coming up next. So what do you think? What do the next 6 months look like for Noah?
The next 6 months.
Do you have anything big coming up for you, or anything you're working on?
I'm really gonna keep pushing. Like I've really been trying to push YouTube hard, so I'm gonna I want to grow the YouTube. I mean, TikTok's been good over the year or two, but I always slacked with the YouTube. I want to make long form content. That's what we've been doing. I mean, starting like the beginning of the summer, I was making all long form content, and then I take like the short clips from my YouTube videos and post them on a TikTok. Yeah. Do you edit your own videos? So no. I have a filmer, and he does all the filming and the editing. He does like all the technical side of everything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like he knows what he's doing. Like he makes that shit. Yeah. It's totally worth like working with. He's my friend too. I mean, I stay with him during the summer. We film out there, but it's hard because right now he lives an hour and a half away. He lives in Wildwood, so it's like it's far from me. Shit. So it's tough for us to kind of link up. Like a filmer, like I'm starting to realize. You need to like have there's opportunities that come up and you need to be ready to go. Right, like you need to be 100%. Ready to go. Like sorry, we got to go film this today. Like type shit. Like
what kind of opportunities have you had recently where you've had to just go?
Like for example, like all right, Phillies played tonight. Like we got to go film this tailgate like right now. Like it's gonna be great content. It's gonna be, like 100%. World Series. Like we got to be there. And it's hard for me right now because he's in Wildwood. He can't make it down. It's like.
Well, I'll say this, man. It all at the end of the day, like the day is gonna happen whether or not you're there filming. So like you just have to make it happen. Yeah. Definitely. And that's where the best content comes from. Yeah. Just making it happen. Right. And like for me, like I know you film at Temple, and Temple is actually a great spot to film. I filmed a few things there, and because you can find like any kind of all different kinds of people. Like I film there, I would ask people like deep questions. Like I'm kind of like the opposite of you a little bit.
Complete opposite. Like, he's like, yo, do you want to kiss me right now or like in 5 minutes? And Kev's like, so what's one thing you would change about your life? Like two complete polar opposites.
But like something I've learned though, it really shit like that though really does humble you, because you're gonna get always people like tell you no. But when you have that person tell you yes, it'll be like it's like the best content I've had. It's just from people like random people just tell me like their life story when like they don't even know me yet, Right. So I wanted to ask you, like, has there ever been a time where someone's like told you no, like specifically like when it comes to like content or opportunities or like being turned down?
Being told no, I mean, there's been like a few shows like I've auditioned for. Like I was also on like a reality TV show. I did that, and I mean. Before that, there was like other shows I auditioned for, and I got my hopes up like really high. I was like, oh, I'm 100% be on the show. Like even told my parents, and then it ended up like getting turned down. And I mean, that was tough a few times. There's been times like that where it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be an actor?
I really don't want to be an actor. No, I like unscripted shit. I don't like want to play no character but myself. I like who I am. I want to be me. I don't want to be Joe Schmo like in the movie. I want to be Noah D. I don't want to like. I just want to be me.
That's awesome.
I don't like the whole scripted shit.
So what show would you want to be on? Would it be like was it like the Two Out the Handle, like those kind of shows, like the dating shows?
Yeah, they're sick.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I totally would. I would love to be on shit like that.
That's like, so funny. Fun. I think you'd be hilarious on it too. It'd be funny as shit. So what would you say are your 3 biggest goals in life right now? Because I understand they always change. Like 6 months can change your whole life. Your goals always change. What would you say are your 3 biggest goals right now?
Like long term or short term goals?
1 long term, 2 short.
Like how long are we talking?
Give me a year.
In a year?
Yeah.
That's not that long.
What are 2 things you want to accomplish in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, I'm gonna go back to YouTube because I want to have like a solid fan base on YouTube, and I want to sell merch. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, merch. I've been getting more into merch, like selling T-shirts and like the shit I say. Like for example, I've been selling like the petition T-shirts. I don't know if you've seen them.
That's
and
like
then like the petition because
Yeah.
like the MILF Monday.
Yeah.
Like I want to.
Did you come up with all that stuff yourself? Like all those concepts yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
And I want to get them out there. I want to get up more into the business side of things. Like
Right.
that's really what I want to start focusing on too. Because I haven't gotten too big into the business side of things. I know it's really important.
Well, you're only 20 years old, first of all. You're young as shit.
No,
Like,
he's so young.
So I'm 26. I
Really?
just turned 26.
I feel like it's so funny because like sometimes I feel like damn, like I gotta hurry up.
So you know
Wait,
what? So
I struggle with
you
that
know what's funny?
sometimes.
So I've actually went through the same exact thing as you. So are you in college or no?
No.
So I wanted to kind of hit on this. Like you're 20, you might feel like you're like older because you see people like so young on TikTok who are like 16 who are making it. But, like you're 20 years old. Like you're very young, and don't overthink it because what happens is you get yourself like in a state where you feel paralysis and you end up doing nothing at all because you're like obviously I know you're doing a lot right now, but you don't ever think that you're too old to be doing something, or it's too late to be doing something, because you have people who are 35 or 40, and it's like you've seen all the biggest billionaires and the millionaires you've seen. They've all been turned down a million times, and they've all started shit when they were in their 30s and their 40s. Take it one step at a time, one video at a time, one edit at a time. You'll realize like the growth, and like I said, you already have it. But it's just don't overthink or think you're like too young or too old for anything.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I get exactly what you're saying. It makes 100% perfect sense. But my mindset is like kind of like, I know I'm gonna make it happen. Like whether it's like I'm 45, whatever, how old. But like the thing that scares me, it's like I go back to like, damn, I only have one life. Like I need to make it happen as early as I can, or else I'm gonna miss out on so much. That's like it's like a fear of missing out.
Right,
almost.
right. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I feel like everybody probably feels that to some point.
Everyone has FOMO to a degree, and that all comes from just like being present.
Yeah.
I think especially with like with Takeoff and everything passing away yesterday, and with like PNB and all that stuff, like shit like that, like you realize how like fragile life is, and that's why I was asking you about your family earlier. Because as long as you're like when you're present, you're able to take it all in there instead of focusing on the future, or the past too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was another thing reading books really taught me, because I didn't even know, like if you said being present, I wouldn't even know what that meant before I started reading books, but I read a lot that like really explained it. And I read one called The Power of Now, and basically the whole book is like literally about being present in the moment.
You read that, Maddie?
Maddie it's and it changes so much of your mental state, and it's insane. Like you really like cherish the moments that are in front of your face instead of being in your own thoughts at all the time. Like, oh, what's gonna happen tomorrow, or what do I gotta do right now? Like you're just living.
Look up the book. It's like a poem-based book, so it's like a super easy read. Like you won't struggle with it, but like you can also like just read like 1 or 2 pages a day too. It's called Clarity and Connection, and it's kind of just like, it reminded me of Power of Now in a sense of just being like small little reminders of like things that you should like can work on and like change your perspective.
Have you ever read any Michael Singer?
I don't think so.
He's like good on that stuff too. I read a few. The Untethered Soul, like that's a good one too.
Heard of that one.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it. I've like expanded. Before I used to only read like a lot of like addiction based books, but like I work in mental health now too, and I'm about to be like a therapist. So like I've had to expand my knowledge with those certain books. But yeah, that one's a really good one. Yeah. But that's when I read Power of Now too. So
yeah, that's a good one.
What would you say? Let's see. What would you say has been your favorite moment as a content creator? Do you have something that sticks out to you?
Like moment.
Like an aha moment, or like a wow, like I'm actually like all the hard work you put in is like kind of paid off to a degree.
I'll say, I don't know about the hard work paying off, but I just remember the one moment when you said that. Like when we were in Miami, he was actually there. I remember hitting 1 million followers.
Miami's crazy, by the way.
Like I remember we planned to go like to a content trip just for Miami, and the whole idea was a trip like we're just gonna go there for a month, stay there, and literally just grind the whole time. And it was my most successful trip ever. It's we got dialed in. It was while I was there, Charlie noticed me after dumping the drink on myself.
She did notice you. So did she DM you?
It was after 164 days. She commented on my video, and finally
really?
when we were in Miami, and then like the next day I had 1 million followers. It was that was like a really memorable moment. Like that trip was crazy.
That's awesome. Something I've learned that the most powerful force in the world is momentum. Like I've learned that like having momentum, there's not like as long as you have that and build on top of that, you know, that's where the growth really comes from. Because that sucks when you're starting off and you know and you're not seeing numbers, you're not seeing growth, and then once you first get that little bit of momentum, that's where you should really push extra, like even harder, you know.
Right.
But you learn everything, like I said, even for the podcast and everything learn you learn in the beginning, like that's where your learning should come from. So like you fucking up or making mistakes in the beginning or being told no or shit like that, that's where you should be, you know, that's where it should come from. That's where the learning comes from. And then once you get to that point where the content starts coming out good, start getting numbers, that's where you need to start really pushing extra hard, you know.
Yeah, but there's always learning. I still got a lot of learning to do.
100%, don't we all, man? But dude, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I just wanted to come and you have any last questions or anyone out there? You guys have any questions, anything like that? As your boys, so like I'll ask you guys. So like being like his boys and like and seeing like, being there in his life, like what have you guys taken from that?
The inspiration, and I mean, obviously, you know, the content he's doing right now, which is getting the Rizz and the females. So obviously, getting females to be there. But he definitely inspiration, and it's an eye opener to see like how much you could do if you really just put your mind to it. Yeah. Because he's so heartedly just goes out and just does whatever he puts his mind to.
He just does shit. Yeah.
Yeah, really. It's not really too much thought to it in itself.
That's awesome.
I knew Noah since elementary school, so.
Go ahead, John.
Actually, I met Noah. I knew of Noah because we went to the same high school, but like we didn't like talk in high school like that. But like I started to like get to know him like after like college, and so I say like probably like last year like I really started like getting to know him and like now.
Do you think like being around someone who is like very content focused or very like driven, do you think it's like pushed you to like want to do the same shit?
Of course, yeah. Every day, like Noah gets up and does like he gets up, puts his 2 feet on the ground. Like, what am I gonna do today? Like that's the mindset everybody gotta have. Yeah, like, you know what's and what else I picked up from him is just be yourself. You feel me? Just be yourself every day. Like. Yeah. Just like he said, he don't give a fuck about what nobody say. He's himself. Like,
I mean, I think especially in the content, like like when you're doing content, when you're putting stuff like that out, it's very, very prevalent, especially for you, you know, because if you fold, then it's like, okay, then fuck, like the whole ship kind of sinks for yourself, you know.
Like, it's so much. I don't really. The only comments that like I do, the comments fuck with me sometimes, but it's not the comments that are like shitting on my videos. Sometimes it's the comments that are coming for like my morals or like my personal character. Like it makes me almost, if I'm reading comments, like damn, it almost makes you like kind of believe what they're saying for a second, and you got to like check yourself. Like, is what I'm doing fucked up? Like, am I? Yeah. So that does come with it, but but there's nothing you could do about it. I mean, if somebody I feel like anybody's gonna subconsciously like start to believe shit. And they could say the most outlandish shit, but you're subconsciously going to believe it to a certain extent. Right,
yeah. If people say it, then if people say it, it's like out there. Oh, shit. It's like it pops
in your head, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But that's it. I mean, listen, man, I think the most important thing is just like to understand like who like you are and like what you're doing. I think when you understand like your lane and where you're going to be in the next few years, that's huge. As long as you know where you're going, right, then your boys will be with you, and you put that energy out there, then the right people will come into your life. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, Noah, thanks for coming on the pod, boys. Thanks for sitting on the pod. The first live audience for the pod. Let's go. But no, seriously, thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you coming through. This has been the Loft. My name's Kevin Nichols. That's Noah D. And that's Maddie Thompson. Peace, guys. Peace. Thanks.
Hell yeah.